In this lesson, we will finish rigging the mech's guns. So we don't have much to do. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll grab our two arm controls and create a custom channel that we will use to have the gun telescope out. Let's head over to Modify, Add Attributes. No need for a displayable channel. We already have one. Extra controls. So let's get right to the keyable channel. We'll name it Gun. Let's give it a minimum value of 0. Now our max value will be 10. The reason being is because there are going to be about 3 stages, right, for the gun to telescope out. So the larger piece will come out first, and then the secondary piece, and then finally the gun. So what we'll do is go ahead and kind of divide by 3, if you will, and by the time we reach a value of 10, the gun will have fully manifested itself. So let's say we go ahead and do this. We'll click OK, and there's our custom channel. Let's go ahead and focus on the right side. We've been focusing on the left side all throughout this course, right? So let's go ahead and bring some attention to the right side. With our control selected, we'll go ahead and jump to our driven key window. So that's animate, set driven key, set options, and we'll load this as the driver. Now we can go ahead and grab all 3 of our end joints. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and load them as our driven objects. Sweet. We'll now go ahead and highlight all 3 driven objects. Let's make sure their prefix says bind. And we'll now go ahead and highlight the Translate X channel. Let's now go ahead and highlight the gun channel and establish an initial key. Wonderful. So again, we're breaking this down into 3 stages, right? Let's go ahead and grab our control. We'll set the value to 3. And now we can go ahead and grab all 3 of our end joints, and we'll go ahead and translate them out just a bit. Wonderful. I'd say a safe value would be about -60. And by the way, whatever values we decide on here, we would use the reciprocal on the opposite side. So instead of -60, we would use +60. Really straightforward. All right, so now what we'll do is go ahead and create our key. Let's now go back to the control and we'll set the gun to a value of 6. We'll go back to our end joints. Let's now translate the mid piece and the actual gun out a little bit more. So here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and grab gun telescope B. We'll control click the actual gun and we'll have them telescope out just a bit. Sweet, we could always round this out to about a value of, let's say, -80. It's close enough. Fantastic. So once we've done that, we'll grab all 3 pieces. Even though we did not move A, we need to lock in its position here. So after we've selected all 3 pieces, we're ready to now create another key. Now there's one more key to create. Let's go ahead and jump back to the guns channel, and we'll set it to 10. Nice. So now what we can do is go ahead and have the gun and only the gun telescope out. So we could always set its value to about, let's say, -100. So these values should be very simple to remember, right? We use 60, 80, and 100. Let's go ahead and grab all 3 pieces, and we will now set a key. Now you might be wondering, all right, since it's 3 stages, how come we didn't just use a max value of 9? Well, normally, your value is either 1 or 10 or just something that is divisible by 10, just so it's more clear. With 9, it's kind of obscure. You get into the habit of having 10 or 1 be your max value, or 100, but not 9. I mean, who uses 9 as their max value? You know what I mean? But that's the idea behind that. All right, fantastic. So let's go ahead and grab the control and test out our parameters. So there is our telescoping gun. How fun is that? And watch this. We can then open up the claw. This will look great when we're ready to animate. So I'll go ahead and zero out our parameters here, and we can do the same thing on the left side. Remember, we're using the same values, only the reciprocal of what we used on the right side. So everything's going to be positive this time. Let's go ahead and grab our control object, choose load driver, and now we'll grab our end joints. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Nice. Let's go ahead and load them as our driven objects. And we'll highlight our gun channel, the Translate X channel, and create our initial key. Now we can go ahead and jump back to our control object, go back to the guns parameter, and set that to 3. Nice. So from here, we can go ahead and have all 3 pieces telescope out. So let's go ahead and select those objects, and we'll use a value of 60. Let's go ahead and create another key. We'll now go back to our gun channel, set this to 6. We'll select B and the main gun piece, and we'll go ahead and set our value to 80. Now let's go ahead and grab all 3 objects and key. Alright, one more time. Let's go ahead and set our value to 10. We'll go ahead and grab just the gun this time and set its value to 100. Alright, sweet. Again, grabbing all 3 pieces, we're then ready to create our last key. Let's test this out. So as we start to use this parameter, there's our telescoping weapon. How fun is that? This is really exciting stuff. Can't wait to animate. And we're just about ready to do that, by the way. The rig is just about finished. So in the next lesson, let's say we do this. We'll go ahead and create a global control. And then following that, we'll basically do a bit of cleanup work to get this ready for animation. Almost there.